No, I think recycling is a waste of time.
Actually, no. It's never really crossed my mind to.
Go.
No, I don't recycle. That's for dirty hippies and dirty commies.
No.
I recycle by throwing my stuff back to the earth. I drink beer and I throw it in the street. When I read the newspaper, my dog eats it and it goes back to the earth.
I don't recycle. I drink Coke and Pepsi and I throw it in a trash can and not a recycling bin.
Are you asking me why I don't recycle?
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of the planet. I really don't like the blue bin in my room. If it were up to me, I'd throw the blue bin away. I don't like trees. I don't like conservation of water. I really just don't like people in general. So why would I allow the planet to support those people?
I don't mind where you come from, as long as you come to me. But I don't like illusions, I can't see them clearly. I don't care, no, I wouldn't dare to fix the twist in you. You've shown me eventually what you'll do. I don't mind, I don't care, as long as you're here. Go ahead, tell me you'll leave again. You'll just come back running, holding your scarred heart in hand. It's all the same, and I'll take you for who you are. If you take me for everything, do it all over again. It's all the same. Hours slide and days go by till you decide to come. And in between it always seems too long for sudden. But I have the skill, yeah, I have the will to breathe you in while I can. However long you stay is all that I am. I don't mind, I don't care, as long as you're here. Go ahead, tell me you'll leave again. You'll just come back running, holding your scarred heart in hand. It's all the same, and I'll take you for who you are. If you take me for everything, do it all over again. It's always the same.
Renewable energy is energy that can be harnessed from a source of energy that can be reproduced quickly or in a short period of time. It's also energy that's harnessed from a source that lasts for a very long time. Non-renewable energy is energy obtained from sources that, once used, cannot be made again or produced in a short period of time. Summary or overview of energy. I think we should use more of renewable energy than non-renewable energy. Why? Well, it's because renewable energy is more eco-friendly to both humans and the earth. Renewable energy doesn't emit any dangerous or harmful stuff to the earth, thus not adding any greenhouse gases to the earth. Maybe if we mostly have our electricity produced from renewable energy, with batteries to collect electricity produced as a backup, we could not have enough for our city or even our village. The problem is that sometimes renewable energy is not available, so we can't harness it. But we could minimize the electricity produced from non-renewable energy and only generate electricity from it only for large amount of backup or for the city. But not any renewable energy source that we can use. We only can use a clean source of fuel for the power plants, such as nuclear energy. But even if it's dangerous, radioactive, we could make a storage room for the radioactive waste. A good reason why we should use nuclear energy is because it doesn't emit any greenhouse gases, therefore not contributing to destroy planet Earth.
Types of natural resources. Natural resources are of two types: renewable sources, non-renewable sources. Renewable resources are those which are regenerated through various natural cycles. For example, sun, plants, animals, soil, wind, air, and water, etc. Oxygen in the air is regenerated through photosynthesis, and polluted water is renewed through the water cycle. Therefore, air and water are renewable resources. Air, water, soil, and solar energy are non-living renewable resources. Plants, animals, and other organic products are living renewable resources. The living and the non-living resources are interdependent. Non-renewable resources are those which cannot be replaced in the environment after their utilization. Metals, coal, oil, natural gas, minerals, etc. are non-renewable resources. These resources being limited in quantity, man has to be very careful in using them to obtain the maximum benefit from them.
Remember those walls I built? Well, baby, they're tumbling down, and they didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, I got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking, it's the risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can feel your halo. Pray it won't fade. Oh, your halo, halo, see your halo, halo, your
faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Enlarging your world. Mad world. Serve God, love me, and mend. This is not the end. Live unbruised, we are friends. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Sigh no more, no more. One ferns in sea, one on shore. My heart was never pure. You know me. You know me. But man is a giddy thing. Oh man is a giddy thing. Oh man is a giddy thing. Oh man is a giddy thing. But love, it will not betray you, dismay or enslave you. It will set you free. Be more like the man you were made to be. There is a design and alignment to cry of my heart to see the beauty beauty of love as it was made to be. Love that will not betray, dismay, or enslave you, it will set you free. More like the man.
Wind is a powerful source of energy on our planet. In fact, many of us have seen it in action, propelling sailboats across open seas or turning the blades of a farm's windmill to grind grain or pump water. Modern wind turbines are basically sleeker, higher-tech versions of the windmills of the past. But instead of using the wind to do farm work, they're designed to convert wind energy into electricity. Here's how it works. Wind blowing across a turbine's blade creates more pressure on one side of the blade than the other. This causes the mechanism of all three connected blades to turn. This rotation pushes on a series of spinning parts inside the body of the turbine, which in turn spins a generator, producing electricity. Because wind is always blowing somewhere across the surface of the Earth, it's considered a renewable resource. And because the only thing required to turn a wind turbine is moving air, wind farms emit no greenhouse gases. However, even though it's clean and abundant, there are a number of reasons we still don't use wind power more widely. The first, and perhaps most important, is that the wind doesn't always blow, at least not always in the same spot, and technologies for storing lots of electricity for later use are currently very expensive. Another problem is location. It doesn't make sense to put wind farms just anywhere. The best sites are open, windy places, which are often far from city centers where energy demand is greatest. So, long transmission lines are necessary to move the electricity to where it's needed. Finally, while wind farms are relatively cheap to operate, they cost a lot to build, especially in comparison to existing coal and natural gas power plants. The result is that many wind projects simply never get off the ground. At the moment, wind power makes up only a small portion of the electricity produced in America, but it's a rapidly growing industry that many experts believe could one day slash fossil fuel consumption. And just like solar, it will become cheaper and easier to use if we can find better ways to store the electrical energy it generates.
Situated in Cyberjaya, Malaysia's ICT center, SSP2 is within the Multimedia Super Corridor. Malaysia's federal government administrative center, Putrajaya, is also nearby, just a mere 10 minutes away by road. Access to the Kuala Lumpur city center takes only 20 minutes via Maju Expressway. Using Max, you can get to the capital's largest hub, KL Central, in approximately 25 minutes. Shah Alam, the capital of Selangor State, is 20 minutes away by Elite Highway. You will also be delighted to know that Malaysia's award-winning international airport is only 15 minutes away southbound. Our seaport, Port Klang, is just 45 minutes away by major highways from SSP2. So, just sit back and relax, because getting here is definitely a breeze.
170,000 cubic meters of water flow past here every minute at almost 60 kilometers per hour. That's enough water to fill about 100,000 Olympic swimming pools every day. Standing here, you can actually feel the power of the water. Harnessing that power is what hydroelectric stations have been designed to do for over 100 years in Ontario. In essence, they are factories that convert the energy of falling water into the flow of electrons, or what is commonly called electricity, the electricity that powers the province. Most hydroelectric stations use either water diverted around the natural drop of a river, such as a waterfall or rapids, or a dam is built across a river to raise the water level and provide the drop needed to create a driving force. Water at the higher level is collected in the forebay. It flows through the plant intake into a pipe called a penstock, which carries it down to a turbine water wheel at the lower water level. The water pressure increases as it flows down the penstock. It is this pressure and flow that drives the turbine that is connected to the generator. Inside the generator is the rotor that is spun by the turbine. Large electromagnets are attached to the rotor located within coils of copper wire called a stator. As the generator rotor spins the magnets, a flow of electrons is created in the coils of the stator. This produces electricity that can be stepped up in voltage through the station transformers and sent across transmission lines. The falling water, having served its purpose, exits the generating station to the tail race, where it rejoins the main stream of the river to continue the cycle of creating clean, renewable energy for Ontario.
Ethanol is produced from sugarcane juice through a fermentation and distilling process. The juice is first purified by various filtering processes until it is ready to be fermented and mixed with yeast. At this stage, the liquid is called fermented wine. The alcohol contained in the wine is recovered in distillation and rectification columns. Hydrous ethanol, the type used in flex fuel vehicles in Brazil, is produced at this point. To obtain anhydrous ethanol, the type that's mixed with gasoline, the liquid undergoes an additional water removal or dehydration stage. The entire procedure from the arrival of the cane at the mill to the finished product takes 15 hours. 1 ton of sugarcane yields about 85 liters of ethanol. Brazil produces more than 30% of the world's ethanol. It is the top exporter and second largest producer of the biofuel, behind the United States. In the 2010-2011 harvest, production is expected to reach almost 30 billion liters. Ethanol produced in Brazil follows strict technical specifications and international standards.
Across the province, Ontario Power Generation provides 70% of the electricity used by Ontario's businesses and homes. OPG strives to advance environmental stewardship by contributing to environmental protection, pollution prevention, and energy and resource use efficiency. Presently, about 2/3 of OPG's electricity is generated by our hydro and nuclear plants. The remaining needs are met by our fossil fuel plants, which play a vital role in providing the flexibility needed in our changing electricity demands.
It's very important to people that power is on all of the time, that it's reliable all of the time.
Jim Toomey is OPG's Executive Vice President for Fossil.
Fossil is able to quickly increase and decrease generation in a way that nuclear and a lot of our hydro stations can't do, such as in the summer when the peaks come.
Unlike hydro and nuclear plants that are virtually air emissions free, OPG's fossil plants have air emissions including greenhouse gases. These are a byproduct of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. OPG and its predecessor, Ontario Hydro, have worked to reduce fossil plant emissions to air.
We've reduced our acid gas emissions by over 60% since the 1980s, and yet we've produced more energy today than we did at that time.
Frank Gerardo is the plant manager at Nanticoke.
We've also partnered with a number of community groups in the Nanticoke area to make sure that we're living in harmony with the environment.
We continue to look for opportunities to reduce the impact of our fossil stations on the environment. The use of biomass, for instance, is quite important. This is a really good, exciting opportunity to mix biomass with coal and reduce our environmental footprint.
Biomass is a great fuel because it is made from renewable and carbon-neutral plants.
When they're grown, they take in CO2. When they're burnt, they emit CO2. So their life cycle is neutral.
That means biomass can reduce net greenhouse gas emissions by replacing some of the coal used in electricity production. In Europe, mixing biomass with coal is already a proven green technology in many countries, such as the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and Denmark, where some plants routinely displace 10% or more of their coal supply with biomass.
Other jurisdictions have developed processes like this because there's a need.
Les Marshall is the senior engineer for biomass at Nanticoke.
In North America, we've been a bit lax, and it's time to catch up.
OPG is testing biomass technology at several locations within the fossil fleet. Here at OPG's Nanticoke station, biomass is already being co-fired with coal, and the test program also includes other OPG sites, including Thunder Bay, Lambton, and Atikokan generating stations. The types of biomass that are most suitable for power generation include woody biomass, such as wood pellets and forestry residues, and agricultural byproducts, such as wheat shorts, the residue from flour milling. Wheat shorts have been tested at Nanticoke since 2006, and in a second phase of testing, biomass silos were built to allow for continuous burns. The scale of the Nanticoke test equipment is small compared to some of the European plants.
Most of the systems that you'll see around the world are very similar. They'll involve a dedicated reception system designed to give us some capability to deliver what we call ready-to-burn biomass feedstocks and pneumatically inject dry granular biomass feedstocks, meeting up with existing piping that already carries coal to the furnace. The two streams mix together and are conveyed to the furnace to provide its energy input.
While there is a lot of work to be done, there is potential in the use of biomass for fuel in Ontario, thanks to the province's rich agricultural base.
I think it's a huge opportunity for farmers to supplement their income.
Peter Elnitsky is the Manager of Investment Development for Ontario's Ministry of Agriculture.
Producing crops dedicated for energy production or using crop residues and produce energy is absolutely a market opportunity.
In fact, the idea for biomass co-firing came to OPG from Ontario farmer and miller Mark Hayhoe.
We knew in 100 grams how many calories were in wheat bran, so we just did a simple mathematical calculation to get BTUs, which is British thermal units, and knew there was a lot of heat there.
He saw the opportunity to get more value out of a commodity that at that time was valued very low, and has created an opportunity that I think was in sync with the times.
I think there's more potential going forward to even push this further.
That sentiment is shared by everyone involved in OPG's biomass co-firing project here at Nanticoke.
This is a great project. It's one that's got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of interest.
It's a wonderful thing when something like this can happen that benefits the whole agricultural industry.
Something that's not only good for the planet, but very good for OPG.
It reduces the CO2 impact, reduces the environmental impact, and makes a contribution to improving the environment.
Looking ahead, biomass presents many opportunities, but there are also many challenges related to supply, processing, transportation, and storage that must be overcome. Government, agriculture, business, academia, and the community as well as OPG will all have a role to play before we can move to full-scale use of biomass as a fuel. Stay tuned.
Hot fractured rock, or HFR, geothermal energy, is a renewable form of energy harnessed from the Earth itself. Hot granites, buried deep below the Earth's surface, contain a huge amount of energy, and the Cooper Basin contains the hottest granites on Earth at reasonable drilling depth. This is a known resource with an energy potential comparable with Australia's coal reserves. The Cooper Basin hot rock resource is within reach of conventional oil drilling rigs and is known to cover 1,500 square kilometres at a depth of approximately 3.5 to 4 kilometres. Fractured granite found at this level is heated naturally by radiogenic decay from the elements within it. This heat is insulated by thousands of metres of sedimentary rocks and slowly builds up over millions of years. Injecting water under pressure into the granite, in the same way as the oil and gas industry, can widen the fractures. This hydraulic injection triggers tiny microseismic events that enhance the permeability of joints a significant distance away from the injection well, creating a geothermal reservoir. Low temperature water flows through the reservoir, increasing to approximately 280 degrees Celsius at 5,000 metres below the surface. Geodynamics uses a closed pipe circuit to bring the naturally hot pressurized fluid to the surface before running it through a heat exchanger that extracts the thermal energy. The cooled, pressurized fluid is injected back into the reservoir. The closed-loop system means the pressurized fluid is never exposed to air or light and does not diminish at all during the process, meaning zero water loss from the system. The superheated steam from the heat exchanger is used to drive a binary steam turbine in an adjacent power plant, thereby producing emission-free baseload electricity for supply to the national grid.
It all started with a big bang. Wait, we don't have to go back that far. The Earth was formed 4.5 billion years ago. No, it's still too far. Try this. It's the Middle Ages. People in Britain run out of firewood, start burning coal. But they use up the coal on the ground. Miners dig deep. Coal mines fill with water. Samuel Newcomen invents a coal-burning steam engine to pump out water so miners can keep digging. James Watt makes it practical for other uses. Now we have ingredients for the Industrial Revolution, fossil fuels, and a way to put them to work. All hell breaks loose. Coal miners bog down lugging coal. Rails make it easier. Rails and steam engine combined make a railroad. Michael Faraday makes the first electric motor. Nikola Tesla invents alternating current. Soon utility companies start burning coal to generate electricity. Meanwhile, Edwin Drake drills the first rock oil well in Pennsylvania, and Carl Daimler builds an automobile running on petroleum. Coal tar and oil are turned into industrial chemicals and pharmaceuticals that prolong life, more population growth. The Wright brothers start oil-fueled aviation. Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch make fertilizer from fossil fuels. Fertilizer and oil-powered tractors expand food production, feeding more people. World War I is the first fossil-fueled conflict. Then comes World War II, giving us guided missiles and atom bombs. In between is a Great Depression, partly caused by overproduction. Powered assembly lines make products faster than people need them. Advertising executives invent consumerism to soak up overproduction. It's the 1950s. Advertisers use television to hook new generations of consumers. In the 70s, there's an oil shock. Everyone's shocked to realize how dependent they are on oil. With the energy crisis, the environmental movement is born. But oil prices fall and everyone forgets energy shortages. There's a showdown between market and planned economies. Market wins. Goodbye, evil Soviet empire. Politicians decide the market will solve everything. Personal computers arrive. Globalization takes over when the market notices labor is cheaper in China. Suddenly everyone has a cell phone, but world oil production stalls out. China is now burning half the world's coal to make export products. But where will China get more coal and oil to fuel more growth? Environmental problems everywhere. Rising CO2 levels lead to record heat waves, floods, droughts. Oceans acidify. Topsoil erodes by 25 billion tons a year from industrial agriculture. Ancient forests disappear. Species go extinct at 1,000 times normal rates. Fresh water is scarce or polluted. Oil companies drill in miles of seawater because the easy oil is gone. But a deep water oil platform explodes and fouls the Gulf of Mexico. Manufacturing moves to polluting countries where labor is cheap, while the U.S. becomes a casino. The financial sector is 40% of the economy. But Wall Street is over-leveraged. Banks fail. Unemployment soars. Credit evaporates. The economy is on the verge of collapse. Okay, present time. It's amazing how far we've come in 200 years, just 3 human lifetimes, from the beginning of industrialism till now. But where are we headed? We can't keep doubling human population. We can't keep dumping carbon in the atmosphere. We can't keep ruining topsoil. We can't keep growing population and consumption or basing our economy on depleting fossil fuels. We can't just print more money to solve the debt crisis. It's been an exhilarating ride, but there are limits. Now, it's not the end of the world, but we have to do 4 things fast. Learn to live without fossil fuels, adapt to the end of economic growth as we've known it, support 7 billion humans and stabilize population at a sustainable level, and deal with our legacy of environmental destruction. In short, we have to live within nature's budget of renewable resources at rates of natural replenishment. Can we do it? We have no choice. Alternative energy sources are important, but none can fully replace fossil fuels in the time we have. Also, we've designed and built our infrastructure for transport, electricity, and farming to suit oil, coal, and gas. Changing to different energy sources will require us to redesign cities, manufacturing processes, healthcare, and more. We'll also have to rethink some of our cultural values. None of our global problems can be tackled in isolation, and many cannot be fully solved. We have to prepare for business as unusual. Our best goal is resilience, the ability to absorb shocks and keep going. If we do nothing, we still get to a post-carbon future, but it will be bleak. However, if we plan the transition, we can have a world that supports robust communities of healthy, creative people and ecosystems with millions of other species. One way or the other, we're in for the ride of a lifetime. Understand the issues and pitch in. It's all hands on deck.
Nuclear energy facilities generate carbon-free electricity in 30 countries around the world. Nuclear energy production is similar to the ways fossil-fueled power plants generate electricity. A nuclear energy facility provides clean, safe electricity 24 hours a day. Let's go inside the plant to find out how. In most generating plants, whether coal, nuclear, or natural gas, some form of energy is used to heat water into steam. This steam turns a turbine that is coupled to an electromagnet called a generator. The generator produces electricity. While the model is the same, there is a key difference between nuclear energy facilities and other electricity generating plants. Power plants that run on fossil fuels burn coal, oil, or natural gas to generate the heat that creates steam. In a nuclear energy facility, a chain reaction of splitting atoms releases heat. This reaction takes place in the reactor. All reactors are designed, built, and operated with safety as a top priority. Nuclear energy facilities are among the safest facilities in the world because they feature multiple redundant layers of safety systems and procedures, beginning in the core of the reactor. In a nuclear reactor, metal rods with enriched uranium pellets inside are placed into bundles, creating a fuel assembly. The bundles are submerged in water inside a pressurized vessel. The two most common types of nuclear reactors are boiling water reactors and pressurized water reactors. In a boiling water reactor, the heat from split atoms causes the water to boil, producing steam that drives a turbine. Afterwards, the steam is converted back to liquid water and returned to the reactor core. Pressurized water reactors, or PWRs, were developed after boiling water reactors and work in a slightly different manner. In a PWR, the water in the reactor tank is under pressure to keep it from boiling, even though it reaches very high temperatures. In the steam generator of a PWR, water passes through thousands of small pipes. The heat in the pipes turns the water to steam, which then drives the turbine. The turbine powers the generator, which in turn produces electricity. Here is where the process differs from a boiling water reactor. The reactor water is now pumped back into the reactor tank and heated again. The steam from the turbine is cooled in a condenser, and the resulting water is sent back into the steam generator and heated again. To prevent overheating, control rods made of a material that absorbs small atomic particles are inserted into the nuclear fuel bundle. When an operator wants to produce more heat, the control rods are raised out of the bundle. To create less heat, they are lowered into the bundle. The rods can also be lowered completely to shut the reactor down in the case of an accident or to refuel the facility. With this level of control, the operator of a nuclear energy facility is able to ensure that it continues to generate clean, safe, and secure energy. Additional safety systems are in place that shut the reactor down quickly and stop the fission process, cool the reactor down and carry heat away from it, and create barriers to contain any radioactivity and prevent it from escaping into the environment. Nuclear energy facilities are the most efficient source of electricity in the world. By developing a nuclear energy program, the UAE is leading the way for other nations that may look to generate clean, safe electricity in the future. Nuclear energy for the UAE. Part of a bright future for our people.